We are fixing back bulge today. Let me see if I can find this dress. I'm running behind. I wanted to have this grabbed for you. Here we go. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I've been so busy at the shop today. We had the exterminator come by. We had somebody come by about some advertising they wanted to do. Lots of busyness. So I pulled this dress earlier today. This is the one we're going to be working on right here. But I didn't have enough time to get my machine changed over and ready for this call and to get the mics on. Didn't have time for that. So you're going to see all of that today. This is the real world, people. So yeah, you can see what we're doing today. We're going to be fixing back bulge. So back bulge. Is that the bride's fault? No, not necessarily. Most of the time when I see that back bulge, or what some people call a muffin top, what's pushing the skin up, most of the time when I see that, it's actually where if the bride didn't have that dress on, her back doesn't look like that. It's usually from the back of the dress being too tight and it's squeezing, and all this is cushion because it needs more room through here. That's typically what it's from. Now, what I wanted to include in the sketch, and I didn't include very well, was a lot of times when you see the back bulge, you have gaping in the front. The dress will be standing away in the front and squishing in the back. And that's what we have going on with this bride. So I'm going to show you how to fix both of those. I didn't put that in the title or the thumbnail, but I'm going to talk about both of those because they happen together so often. So let's just talk, first of all, kind of our plan of action for this theoretically. Okay, so like what we're planning on doing, and then I'll show you the actual alteration. Guys, do be gearing up for Black Friday. We're going to be having Black Friday sales on my courses and whatnot, so you be looking out for that. This is a very big dress, and it's kind of a little bit involved with my tripod. So you might get some shakes today. See if I can move you around here. Let's see. Hello, Donna. Hello, Diane and Silka. I'm doing pretty well today. I hope you guys are. The weather has been so blustery. Just cold wind cut right through you. I love cold weather, but I do not like the wind. So I've been kind of struggling with that. Now let me show you a few things about this dress. We've got some boning basted in here. I'm going to be taking those out. They are going to be sewn to the inside of the dress. That was just a temporary thing. You can see that. Well, it has to come out because I'm going to be working at the side seam. This is a really interesting alteration to fix the back bulge and when the front is standing out, because a lot of times we alter a little more symmetrically. So like most of the time, if we take it in an inch on one side, we take it in an inch on the other. Or when we bring it in, most of the time, you know, bring it in along the side seam. And if you're bringing it in a half an inch, you know, you'll be like a half an inch on one side and a half an inch on the other. You know, we usually keep it fairly even. So that's going to be really different about this fix. That's what makes the difference here, because if we let this dress out evenly, the gaping in the front would be even worse. So we would fix the back, but then the front would be standing away so bad. So we can't do that. So in theory, when I was saying I'll explain to you what we're going to do before I show you what we're going to do, we are going to let the back out more than the front. Let me show you a little sketch of that just to get you oriented and see how easy these are to snip out. Find a little thing to sketch with here. Okay. Let's see. There's for my... Did you guys get to see my 1-star sewing shops video? That's from that video. I had so much fun doing that. And it was so cool being able to see the redemption of those shops. Let's see, we've got Florida, we've got Pennsylvania, and we've got Alberta, Canada today. Fun, girls. Yeah, so if you haven't seen that video yet about, I tested 1-star sewing shops. It's really good. I like it. So you'll have to check it out. And my latest upload, I uploaded it, was it Friday morning, I think? That one's doing really well. And it's also about, it's about a back smoothing bra, how to turn any bra into a back smoothing bra. So don't miss that. All right, so let's say this is your side seam and we're on the inside, okay? So this is your seam allowance on the side seam. That's the skirt, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna let it out. This is the back, see how it's sloping down? And this is the bust area, okay? We're gonna leave this the same, or maybe even take it in a little bit on the front. And then on the back, we're really going to let it out, okay? These have to line up here. So if the waist is fitting her fine, we're going to try to get back to the original size at the waist. But we're going to let it out quite a bit in the back. And what that's going to do is it's going to take it from this to this. Okay? So I'll show you that in the alteration right now. This is a great alteration to have in your back pocket because it comes up a lot. Can you guys please hit the like button so we can push this a little bit? When you do that, YouTube is like, ooh, there's something exciting going on over there. Let's send it out to people just like them. And then that's how all of your bridal sewing friends end up hanging out. That's how that works. Speaking of, don't forget all my new formats. I've done the new branding, so I'm Sparkle Sewing. We're the Sparkle Sewing Cottage. But don't forget that we're still doing this very techy, detailed sewing on our live streams on Wednesdays. Let me get you positioned here. But our my regular long form videos might be a little bit more variety. I've been doing a lot of variety on those the last couple years anyways. But if you love my technical teaching, then you're going to love my live streams the most, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so let's open the top of this. lighting is so wonky. And you guys don't need to just chat with me in the chat. I'm not going to be checking that for a few minutes anyways. You can chat with one another. So live streams are all about community, right? All right, so I've got that understitching released. And let's tunnel through. And I'll show you how we're going to alter this dress. So this dress does have a big open slit in the front, which means it's usually a little bit more difficult to get to the inside of those dresses. They're lined a little funny. Here we are, we've got to the inside. Snip that. Snip this. Yeah, the wind has been terrible. And I love, oh my goodness, a still winter night or a still fall morning when it's super cold. I love that. But I don't like a cold, cold wind. Okay, so even though we're not going to be letting the waist out very much, I'm still going to release this and allow a little bit of a taper through the waist, just like my sketch. It's just going to be more flattering than this harsh angle that comes with the dress. And just go ahead and get it over with and open that up. That way you're not trying to sew in here while this is tethered down, and then some seamstresses just snip through the seam allowance, meaning no one else can ever let the waist out on the dress there again. We don't want to do that. All right, so let's get this here. And then I'm also going to talk about how I'm going to bring that front back. This is lots of layers here in that skirt. So many layers. These get a little bit complicated when it kind of has like a pleat thing going on into a pocket, but don't overthink it. It's not a big deal. Just follow the yellow brick road. It's gonna be fine. All right. Let's get this boning away. If you're new to this and this makes you nervous, just take pictures before you undo each thing. And that way you can just put it back in reverse when you're done. Now with this, we can't just leave it together and sew in a new thing or sew here and then release. We can't do that because we're going to offset them. All right, so let's open this. And I'm going to open this to almost the waist. I'm not going to break the seam all the way down to the waist. The reason is it's gonna hold them together as they should be, because we're gonna have them offset, but they've got to dovetail back together to the way they should be. So we're gonna use that as a little placeholder. Let me know if that doesn't make sense, please. Okay, so this is the back. See how it's tipping down? This is the front. You can see the apex of the bust. So the front, we're going to tighten a little bit. So we're going to go on this side of the seam. The back, we're going to let out a little bit. So we're going to go on this side of the seam. Let me show you this offset. Probably like that. Now we got to pull it taut. This is why we left that hooked, to make sure we're not going to get a rumple when they meet. I'm going to take this out to the very edge, this back piece, and then we're going to be a little inside of this to the front. So we're going to be about right there, okay? See how this is offset? It's not equal anymore. Here we go. I've not even tested this needle or this machine. I just threaded it, so hopefully we're not going to be sewing in vain here. All right, there's that. Let's go all the way to where this meets up. There we go. So here it is. The back is let out and the front is brought in. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing to the lining. See that offset? That's how that looks. You see it good? Yeah. Oh, good. It makes sense, Janice. Good to have you. Reading the comments. All right, let's do the lining layer just so you can see again what I did. And then you're gonna just sew it back together at the waist. I'm not gonna sew it together at the waist right now because I need to double check my alterations notes. When I do like a live stream or a video that's instructing, I like to isolate and only show one alteration, maybe talk about or show another one, but I don't like to get too much into the weeds of the domino effect of alterations. So I'm not sure. I didn't read the notes before this call to see how her waist needs to be changed, if any, if it needs to be shortened or, you know, anything like that. So I need to read that before I close her up. So I'm not going to close her up today. This razor is a little bit dull. A little bit dull. It should be working faster than this, but it's good enough. It's going to be okay. All right, take it down to there. And again, bring it in a little bit for the front part. The back part's going to be let out all the way. Okay. Kind of running over that original seam a little bit just to make sure it doesn't come undone. All right, so here we go. Brought in a little bit here to the front. Let out a whole lot there in the back. That's gonna fix that for you. It's gonna pull this back, let this go. The other thing that you can do when she tries it on, if it's still gaping, you can put a dart right here. And you would do it like this. Find a spot on either side of the boning. You probably need to peel the boning away. And this is going to be like, let me find my heat erasable. Hello, heat erasable. Okay, here we go. It's going to kind of look like this. You'll do a dart like that. Now, she has ruching. Can you see that? Yeah. She has ruching on her top layer, just like the sketch. So it's really easy to hide with the ruching. So I'd do that here and here. And then I would tack this back in. A lot of times you have to shorten the top of the boning if you do a dart. And then sew this back together. And that's going to help pull that cup back. And then if you need to do more, I have a video about that. You do a contour stitch right along this edge. It's like a gather stitch. You would do, picture this being the outside of the dress, not the inner part. You're going to knot your thread here like an upholstery thread and do like a little small running stitch along this edge right inside the lining layer. This lighting is making my veins pop so much. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I look like I've got Crypt Keeper's hands today. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so you do that and then you pull on it and it's going to gather all the way around, and then you're going to knot it real good on the other side, and that's going to help kind of cup that over. I'm going to look real quick and see if you guys have any questions. Let me just check that out real quick. Oops, sorry, I bumped you. Sorry about that. Let me come back up here so you can see that sign. Back bulge. Let's see. Janice is saying, this is so great. I'm learning extra tips. I just bought some old couture sewing books from eBay. Oh my goodness, don't you love old sewing books? I love them. Ah, so good. We all look like that. Yeah, so that's what I love about doing the live stream or doing the teaching where it's kind of like stream of consciousness and I'm talking about the little things as I go, because if I were to script this out, there's a lot of details I wouldn't think about to teach that we come across when we're actually doing the alteration, if that makes sense. It's funny because when the IT guy was over earlier today, he saw this, how to fix back bulge. And he was like, ooh, like, I mean, it just looks terrible, right? He's like, ooh. And I was like, it's not their fault. It's if it's an ill-fitting dress and it's squeezing them. I said, if they didn't have the dress on, their back would be smooth. It's the fault of the fit. So keep that in mind. Have some mercy on your brides. Yeah, back butt. It'll do that if it pinches and puts that crease up the center back. Which you guys, you can smooth that away if the dress is fitting correctly. But yeah, muffin top, they've got all these names for it. But it's not the fault of the bride, it's the fault of the alteration. So it's our job to take care of it. So if it looks like this, it's our fault. So yeah, don't forget, if you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't lose track of me. But you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be cleaning up my shop. I left it in a wreck the other day. I'm getting ready to film a short to clean with me. So, look for that this afternoon. And if you want to watch me clean the shop. Oh, good. I'm so glad it helped, Janice. Hello, Victoria. I hope you get to catch the replay. We are just finishing up, and this was a very helpful one. You guys have a beautiful day and share it with your friends. Victoria, the replay it'll be up after this, but it has to process. The highest quality replay is really going to be probably tomorrow. They usually have audio issues and clarity issues the first 24 hours. So I'm so glad you guys loved it. Take care, guys. I really appreciate you. Bye.